Hello once again, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, a shout out to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week on whichever platform you choose to listen. Thanks to Angelo's Pizza. Their pizza is delicious, it's award-winning, and they have so many other dishes that they offer. Make sure you check them out on Angelo's, or at Angelo's on Madison Avenue in beautiful Lakewood, Ohio. Thanks to Pollyanna DIY, who makes incredible enamel pins for us. We're still talking about the awesome bobblehead pins they made of D'Lo Brown. They do that and so much more, so make sure you check out Pollyanna DIY for all sorts of amazing wrestling-related merchandise and more. And also thanks to Smart Mark Video and their new merger, IndependentWrestling.tv or IWTV. You can go to smartmarkvideo.com and purchase all sorts of past AIW DVDs. You can stream things there as well. You can also pay for a subscription to IWTV and watch all sorts of things from the AIW archives.
Also, shouts to Paula's Donuts. 1 week later, we're still going strong on these things.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take to eat those things.
There's a big box.
But hopefully you joined us last week at the Odeon. This week, we're talking about how the AIW crew goes to AEW, as we spent a night there getting to see some old friends. Back with us this week.
This was an odyssey.
Back with us is Worldwide.
Some of our events were way more eventful than others.
Yeah, Dr. Dan is here. Maserati West Barkley is
Yes,
here.
sir. Back to it. Back at it. You already know.
Joshua Bishop may chime in here a little bit.
Hello.
There he is.
It's a little more reserved this week.
AIW owner John Thorne, as always. And, of course, my name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts.
Tampa! We're coming. We're coming. We said it last week. We're coming to Tampa. Got the flight paid for.
I thought you'd be a little tired after Friday.
class.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Woo!
Let's go.
Woo!
We called it last week.
Thankfully,
Sound the alarm!
thankfully, you didn't actually murder Dr. Dan.
Catch the replay on IWTV. Catch the replay on IWTV
Snap
if
his
you didn't
neck.
see it.
He broke his neck.
Yeah.
Broke his neck in the ring. Bob Holly style.
I have one of those cone of shames on right now.
Yeah. Cone.
How do you like me now?
You know, you wear the cones when you don't lick your nuts.
How do you like me now?
They get the visual out of Monday morning.
So anyway,
Parker Peters straight to rehab.
a week and a half ago, many of us went to AEW, Absolute, All Elite Wrestling.
Get the E out, baby. AI fucking W.
Well, we went to
Little guerrilla marketing with the red sweatshirts.
watch some friends at All Elite Wrestling that was here in Cleveland for
We
Dynamite.
got Taz, we got Fonzie. For now, till I kill him in Tampa.
My God.
Oh, stop!
I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have Fonzie with talk like that.
It was, anyway, it was good. It was good. We got to see some old friends the night before.
Last week, I should have learned my lesson. This week is confirmed. Joshua Bishop is going on the do not podcast list.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's going on the blacklist for the podcast.
Can't wait to see those tweets. Why do you let him have a...
Artie Mac, baby.
No, I like Arthur.
No, Artie does fine on the podcast. He chimes in
It was
once in a
funny when
while.
he had him
You're
on. He's
just...
like, hey, tell about bulking season. Oh, they already know. I can just only imagine Thorne's face going.
He gets a little.
What?
He gets a little
But I'll
nervous.
tell you what I do know. It's that last week at the Intense Arena, the Rip City Shooters beat your ass 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring to seal our ticket to Tampa.
Deal and deal, brother.
Wow.
So AEW.
So AEW. Well, the night before we got to hang
guess-
out with Joey.
Well, I guess we'll talk about it. How it even came to be that we were all somewhat invited to go to AEW, which was I had worked with their live events guy on a Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler tour a few years ago.
Yeah.
And we connected on LinkedIn of all places, and when they announced the show, I think in November, I think they announced it that they were coming to Cleveland.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I shot him a message, and I had said if they need a local promoter in the area, I would be more than willing to help them out, and they were definitely interested in a local promoter in the area. And from there, I did some promotional stuff for him throughout the city, to our email list and things like that. And, we were then cordially invited to attend the All Elite Wrestling Dynamite taping based on just a little business dealings going on.
Little did they know that not only were they talking to a local promoter, but they were also talking to local big shot.
Oh,
Local
man.
show big shot.
Local show big shot.
People were shouting that at me when I was walking to the Wolfstein Center. It's very uncomfortable.
Moving on down to F7.
Yeah,
I got that shirt from Jay Gold, from the mysterious benefactor.
Oh, he got it made?
He got the shirt made. I saw it at Hell on Earth. I'm like, I want that shirt. That was awesome. Where'd you get it? He goes, oh, I'll wash it and mail it to you. 6 days after Hell on Earth, it was in my mailbox.
You guys the same size?
Yeah.
Wow.
Speaking of things that we have, I have your coffee, so John Thornton.
Yeah. Shout out to Smark Roast.
Yeah. So, did you feel like people were saying that
Probably fucking around
with love?
me.
Yeah.
Fucking around with me. No one was saying it with malicious intent.
That's always nice.
But it's always good to kind of open up those communications. It's not like WWE's reaching out and saying, hey, help us out. So
well, and we won't get super into everybody that was necessarily involved or talk about what they did backstage because we can't. But it also helps. We have a training school, and they use extras just like WWE does.
And so
opens up that conversation.
Yeah, from there, we were able to get some guys booked and get some guys back there and helping out and doing things.
Yeah.
So I got a decent experience for some of the guys from the school and some networking going on. So yeah, it was overall it was a decent experience. But I guess we'll talk into just them coming into town and getting to see some old friends. Tuesday, I got a text from BJ Whitmer. And I'm being so distracted because Josh Bishop just keeps flexing to himself over and over again.
Yep. He's actually flexing to Wes Barkley.
Yeah, it's so distracting.
It is.
Audio podcast, not visual.
I cannot focus with these two guys sitting
It
across
is the
from each
most natural, but unnatural partnership I think you've ever witnessed. You thought Philly Marino loved each other. My God.
Hey, look, I don't want to be the guy to do this, but 2020, we're talking about prophecies. Me and Josh Bishop were putting back the wrestling ring about 2 years ago. And what did we do? We picked up those belts and we looked at each other, those tag team belts, and we looked at each other and we just nodded our heads and said, we knew.
Biggin said, go get the new belts out of my car and put them downstairs.
Yep.
We were the first
Yep.
tag team to touch those titles.
The new ones, and we knew. Man, if you could feel that electricity.
Steve Payne, you might have got to hold him around your waist first.
Steve Payne, I got your number.
Steve Payne.
These guys just make weird noises.
Were you guys the one to steal Steve Payne's chain wallet?
See, this is the Weird World's mistake. Was we would always hold the old tag team titles in the storage unit back when they had to travel like over the border and shit.
But you won.
But you did get to
Yeah,
win
we
the
did
new ones.
one for one fine day.
How do you guys touch the belts before you win them? That's
You guys
like
had
bad
them for
luck.
like a whole month,
Yeah,
a couple of
I've
weeks.
never
we
touched
wanted the old ones.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, we know.
Oh my goodness, I can't even focus.
Yeah.
Today.
So anyway, BJ Whitmer.
So yeah,
shot you a text.
BJ Whitmer texted me and he said, he was in town and I ended up going and picking him up from his hotel and we went up to a bar and Duke and Dom and several people came up and we ended up not shutting it down, but we were having some drinks, telling some stories, catching up. It's been a while since I've seen BJ. I got to hang out with him for a while, and he's catching me up on everything that's been going on in his life, which we won't get into
that.
But yeah, it was cool to see him and just him. It's like that's the kind of stuff that's interesting to me is hearing what his duties are in AEW and how it all works, and just very interesting to kind of get that perspective of things, from being an independent wrestling promoter to then hearing how like this, worldwide television production works. And he was just like 2 years ago, he was just the guy that was partying hard at the J-Lit, or a couple. So it's like it's kind of crazy how it's all how it's all worked out for him. But
he's been in the business for
Forever.
such a long time, and he's always been kind of like one of those just awesome wrestling minds.
well respected guy, and it's just it was pretty interesting to just fucking be able to pick his brain for a little bit, and then I go and drop him off, and it's like just weird, like you're dropping him off at the hotel, and like Jack Evans is just standing outside smoking a cig, and
Jack Evans from the heavens, my guy, Iranian Tobacco. I got you, Jack. If you're listening, hit me up. We're going to Mexico together. We're rocking and rolling. Let's go.
and
Evans.
yeah, so it's just weird seeing stuff like that, and from there I was gonna go home. However, Worldwide was really pumping up Now That's Class on a Tuesday night as
It
being
was hopping.
as being the place to be, in which him and Joey Janela speak, and Joey Janela goes to Now That's Class, and I'll let Worldwide take over.
Well, it was vegan food night, and there were all sorts of allegedly the boy was on the lookout for some babes. A lot of babes there. A lot of babes enjoy the vegan fucking snacks, and as soon as he showed up, everyone left.
Yeah,
It was the wildest thing.
There was-
But then eventually, I took him through gave him a tour of the place, showed him where
gave him a
certain
tour?
WWE superstars had done certain things. Maybe gotten chest to chest with me in the back parking lot of the bar. Showed him the window. Actually, I got to introduce him to Window Guy
from
from Wrestle Rager 3.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and he was very stoked on that.
the newest window guy.
No, the old window
window
guy,
guy?
because the old window guy's back from Australia.
Oh, from
So the
Electric,
Chinese food window guy.
Oh, that's Wrestle Rager 2.
Oh, yeah.
Electric Boogaloo then.
Yeah, the first
window guy.
The first window guy.
Yeah, so window guy numero uno. He got to meet him, and he was very stoked. And showed him a few other things, and then we just chilled at the bar. I had to do like 3 seconds of work while you guys were there.
What an allure of Wrestle Rager, though, that Joey Janela was pumped to meet Window Guy.
Yeah, very true. So I was gonna go home after I dropped BJ off, and Joey was like, "Hey, where are you at?" Like, where are you? I came to this bar, and there's nobody there.
Yeah, it's just you, me, Worldwide, Joey Janela.
So I went there, instead of going home, and then you were there,
Yeah.
I was there, and Joey Janela was there, and that was it.
There was
There's a couple bum type guys coming in.
coming in, asking for stuff. Joey was getting annoyed with somebody who kept talking about helicopters.
Oh, yeah. That
Inappropriately.
was a
Like-
local comedian.
Yeah. We're like, all right.
guy?
No, it was not
No.
me. And we're like, yeah, maybe let's go where some people are. It was fun. It was nice. I will tell you this.
You
It
got
was
to
a
see some
nice.
guy knock somebody out at the gay bar next door.
He did see that, yeah. And that was one of the guys that came inside asking for money, wasn't it?
No, he came back immediately after you guys left and got in my face and was like, "You're looking in the eyes of a maniac." And I'm like, "I know that song, bro."
But it was nice to chill there and catch up with Joey for a little bit, just like have regular conversation. And then we're like, all right, let's go party a little bit.
Another like weird thing before I even skip over it is like with AEW coming into town, like other like media people came to town, and Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful
yeah.
was in town, and like he came to the AEW school on Tuesday and he interviewed people. Like I know he did a sit down with Prohibition, and so yeah, like it brought like all sorts of kind of different weird marketing opportunities for different people with them being in town and just networking things, which is interesting because like when WWE comes to town, it's just a WWE show. Like it's nobody else kind of
No
gets
extra frills.
yeah, nobody gets to latch onto that.
Yeah.
We were able to kind of set some things up, which was pretty cool and a good experience, and especially for like Josh Prohibition to be able to do a sit down interview with a big kind of news outlet like that. But yeah, so from Joey Janela at Now This Class, we went to Avenue Tap
Avenue
House
Tap House.
for karaoke night. There were some people in there.
there were actually people there, yeah.
lots of weird shit going on. in there.
Immediately, a girl was hitting on Joey.
That blew my mind. Like literally, he was just sitting there. We're talking, and a girl just like comes over and takes his phone and like follows her Instagram from his Instagram.
Yeah, she's like, look, these are all my pictures. And he's like, okay.
It was so awkward and weird.
She
and
didn't know who he was.
no idea. No.
Or that he's like on television. That she's
She had
just
no idea he was network television star Joey Janela.
No clue.
Did he have the hair straight?
No, he had a hat on.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I will
Yes.
say
All of them, yeah.
every motherfucker has a Jacksonville Jaguars hat
He
on.
had a
That works for
Jaguars hat on,
AEW,
yes.
which is a funny little tidbit.
She literally was just like hanging next to him, and then like Thorne said, grabbed his phone and was like, "What's here? I am on Instagram."
The WCW.
It was
guys
so
rock
bizarre.
A lot of Atlanta Braves shit.
I don't know. I mean,
Could be.
could
Weird.
have
That's
happened.
That's
It's a
time
great
warp thing
question.
you gotta ask.
Lex Luger could have had an open Dave Justice jersey. You never know. But yeah. So from it's just hanging out from there. Nothing too exciting. Turns into a pretty late night, but I went to work the next day because I knew that there was probably going to be one of these days that was going to turn out to be even later, and that would have been Wednesday night. So yeah, that was from there it was just like the next day, Wednesday, we threw a little impromptu AEW pre-party.
Had those Wes Barkley signings.
Ran out of Sharpies. We ran out of Sharpies. We were signing so many autographs. Thanks to everyone that came by and got an
Berkeys.
autograph. Next time we'll do some pictures.
What was the weirdest thing you autographed?
Can't say that on the podcast, but use your imagination.
Barkley does sign scale.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I would have guessed that. But we did that at where were we? Becky's.
Becky's, yeah,
Good time.
right by the Wolstein Center. Which
Did
is,
anyone come by to acquire those 2 free tickets?
They did, and I can't remember off the top of my head who it was.
I acquired 2 of Nick Sanka's chicken bites, so that was nice.
Yeah, and you drank my Coke, dude.
Yeah, well,
It's just
I
sitting
thought
there.
it was Sanka's.
You're just eating food, and then I put my
well,
Coke
I
down.
ripped
It's sitting there at a
somebody's
table,
pen and went into another galaxy.
and you just start drinking.
Don't do drugs, man.
like it's there for you.
Don't do alleged drugs.
They're pretty legal now.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for these pens. All these people with lung problems, man.
Didn't you go through the DARE program?
Yeah, our the cop that did our DARE program got popped for selling drugs.
Ironic.
Yeah,
That's what happens to everyone's there.
yeah,
No, dude, Officer Dunnigan from Avon, man. Good guy.
yeah. He was some Kirtland cop, like got fucking busted.
I don't remember the name of my dare cops.
Me either.
I think they were fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, so
shows.
we had we got Becky's pretty packed though. It was pretty.
It was really packed. Yeah.
It was packed, and from there we had a lot of drinks, and we made our way to the Wolstein Center. We had tickets in kind of like the bleacher area, and then we had some floor tickets, which was pretty cool. Got to sit second row for most of it, in which the beers were flowing pretty good down there. I'll say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know, it wasn't flowing. Root beer. No root beer at the Wolstein.
You were
Center.
very upset about that.
I was very upset.
I did
about
not
that.
see you
Silver
that
labels,
entire night.
2020 silver labels. A lot of beer going.
There's a lot of beer going. Also, a lot of alluding to STDs from behind us.
Yeah,
There was a guy that really just wanted to spread AIDS awareness.
I don't know if the people sitting behind us had not been to a wrestling event since like ECW in like 1997
It sure
or something.
seemed that way.
But like they were saying they had some real hot takes, man.
When all those Puerto Ricans came out with
Latinos, brother.
Yeah, well, they
Well,
were
they are
Puerto
Puerto
Ricans. They
Rican.
had the fucking
Yeah.
flags on and shit.
Yeah.
They were yelling about fucking calling ICE, and I'm like, that's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Those are citizens, pal.
There were a lot of people with a lot of hot and cold takes around that arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur MacArthur was ready to fight someone.
They
It
got
was
the
a
fire
wild
theme
night.
though. Proud and powerful. They got a sick theme. I'm gonna give it that to them.
Who's that? Santana Ortiz?
Yeah, they got a sick theme. It took over as my new AEW favorite theme. And the guy that was wearing the duster jacket was my favorite dude in their squad.
Latino Sting with the baseball bat and the duster.
Oh, the group of guys that came on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but these dudes were just like,
Oh, I will say this because like some people have been like said some like they're like, oh, were those your guys with Santino and Ortiz? And I was just like, no. And I found out later on that they were legit Brooklyn street thugs. They weren't like workers. They were like
really?
friends of Santina and Ortiz from like New York.
and they were just like, hey, come on down. We're going to use you for this thing.
Which I'll get to later, but I've like, and someone's like, someone left a comment on the AEW page. They're like, were those your guys? And I was like, no, from what I understand, they were legit Brooklyn thugs. And he was just like, oh, cool for keeping kayfabe alive, man. I was just like, no, they really weren't.
They really
like, I'm being honest with you. He's like, oh, cool. Like it's still real to you then, huh? Like, and I was just like, no, that's like the real story, man. Like
Yeah,
this
like
guy was,
they were boys of Santana and Ortiz.
this guy was arguing with me, but yeah, I mean the show, it was pretty cool to be that close, and
Yeah, that's a whole other experience.
Yeah,
I've never been that close at an arena show before.
really,
No.
yeah, worldwide. Like, what did you think of the whole
Well,
situation?
I was like kind of in my own zone, and
doubt,
well, number one, it was like you guys gave me tickets, and then like we got separated, and I circled the arena 3 times looking for F7,
Oh yeah.
and I wasn't finding it until finally like. And I hate the fucking Wolstein Center. Fucking went to a TNA show there back in like 2013, 14.
Me too, brother. I was
Yeah, I know. I bought fucking tickets off of you there because I didn't have a bank account at the time, and I wanted to save $5 off of fucking for some advanced tickets, and bought the fucking shit. And then I went outside to smoke a cigarette because the Hulkster was taking way too long on a promo, and they're like, "Oh yeah, there's no re-entry." At which point I threw monstrous hissy fit, threw a garbage can, left the building, and then proceeded to later on that night break up with my girlfriend and yell at some other fucking girl that I blamed for my one friend's death on Facebook and a bunch of other shit.
Jesus.
Either way, Wolstein Center, bad place for me. So I was all ready for like, but I already knew that they were going to, just be stomping on my rights as a goddamn American citizen as soon as I fucking walked through those doors.
What are you talking about?
What in?
So
Where are
anyway,
you, man? Worldwide. And does any place have good memories for you? Because all I've ever heard is
I
like,
used to have fun at the queue until they decided that they were fucking changing their fucking address to Dachau, Germany, fucking not letting me leave fucking to go smoke a fucking
yeah, they're
cigarette
trying to look out for your well-being.
over my well-being. Yeah, they give a fuck about
Yeah,
my
Yeah,
well-being.
big dude.
That was the problem with Germany back then.
Yeah.
They weren't letting people leave to go smoke cigarettes. What in the actual fuck?
But so anyway, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Cody Rhodes, hell of a blonde guy. Anyway, so
Did you enjoy yourself sitting close?
I did have a good time. Jericho is a fucking living specimen. He looks really good. Fucking it's very loud. Cody's entrance.
Stole
He
the
gets a-
sequence, of course. Someone's
Yeah, he
biting my
stole the
style.
sequence.
Of course, someone's
Your
bite-
style? He stole
Yeah.
the flip sequin jacket.
That's my gimmick.
He was
the
paying
sequin.
tribute to you, bro.
They
Paying
call me
tribute to the
they
shooter.
call
I'll tell
me
you
the
what he didn't
sequin
say,
Sultan
Jericho.
style or whatever. What do you?
I'll tell
what
you,
Marion
You,
Fontaine call
Jericho,
me?
Hey.
paying tribute to the shooters.
All right,
Yes, thank
all
you.
right, easy there.
I'll tell you what he
Yeah,
didn't steal is whatever that whoa crazy bass thing
You
was.
guys know that like you can't all talk at
We'll
once,
see you
right?
at the Winchester, bro.
You can't all talk at once.
Yeah, and then when you just keep talking louder, it doesn't help.
just noise.
All right.
My God.
We'll see you at the Winchester, Jerry.
You guys are like the biggest. Like this is the biggest collection of just Mike Hog motherfuckers ever in a podcast circle.
Well, we just have our passions and we follow them.
Yeah.
And
Just like my passion is an absolution.
Okay. You keep it up on this podcast, I'm going to answer that fucking challenge.
It's not going to be good.
So, worldwide, you enjoyed yourself.
yeah, I had a good time though. But one problem, I fucking was kind of so like gone that I didn't really look up for my phone for about 90 minutes.
Okay,
Oh,
so
worldwide, yes.
so here's a classic worldwide. During this environment, worldwide, his phone dies, and he looks at me dead serious. He says, "Hey, bro, can I log into my Twitter from your phone? My
I was
phone
just
is
gonna
dead."
tweet from your account and just sign it for me. I was asking Sanka too. And I was asking everyone. I was like, "Yo, I got some like thoughts." And like then Sanka noticed. He's like, "Dude, you're like fucking tearing your hands apart right now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can't smoke and I can't tweet. What the fuck do you think I'm fucking supposed to do right now?" And that's on me, though. I mean, it's also on.
thank
I mean,
God.
I don't know how it is at other arenas.
You could have been back in the Flynn row, last row. They probably had fucking phones back
Well,
there.
they probably could buy. At other arenas, they probably have like fucking charging stations down towards the front row for these front row fancy people. But
They had charging stations
not at
in
the
the-
Wolstein Center.
They had charging stations on the main concourse.
Worldwide, you could have just walked around and like found.
I should have just asked Veda. She was right there. She probably had access to a fucking phone charger.
That was funny. We're standing there, so we go to our seats. I'm standing next to Duke, and I'm like, does that girl just look exactly like Veda, or is that Veda?
Yeah, she's the timekeeper,
She's the
I guess.
timekeeper.
I don't know what that was all about. There was all sorts of weird stuff going on at this show.
Yeah. So we got to see Veda. Cheech was handling security.
Cheech was secure in the situation. Yeah.
Cheech and BJ both part of a pull apart.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a pretty fun show. It went pretty fast. It was a pretty fast 2 hours. It wasn't like nothing dragged or anything like that.
Yeah.
Also, I one thing I noticed on the way out of the building that was different from like a WWE show is like a WWE show, you leave the building, like 1/3 of the people fucking hated everything that happened. And then like 1/3 of the people like maybe just loved or enjoyed it or like didn't care. And then 1/3 were like, you are just like ironically going off on shit. And the one thing AEW has going for is like it hasn't been around long enough for people to like cynically like and ironically like enjoy things yet. And they haven't like
No one's jaded.
yeah, no one's jaded and like no one's like they haven't like completely fucked the dog yet, like where like fucking they have so many people coming that like half the crowd fucking hates it. So it was good positive vibes.
Yeah, I think people are just happy that there's like an alternative that is to that level. Like,
Yeah.
I think some people don't even consider independent wrestling an alternative.
Yeah.
But like, it's in an arena, so they're like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is a cool alternative, and like, they're in that kind of realm where they can do no wrong right now.
Yeah. I mean, even while I was like circling the arena looking for fucking F7, fucking when Taz was making his entrance, fucking there was like just some hillbilly dude had to have like come up from Cincinnati or something, just going, yeah, buddy, that's the guy. Survive if I let you.
Meanwhile, though, there were the guys behind us who kept talking about STDs, and for some reason, they're sitting there, and Wes and Duke are listening to them break down like move sets, and I don't know. Wes, you could explain better.
Which match was this?
I don't remember what the match.
Look,
the
there's
miserable
some
dumb
guys
idiots
talking
behind
shit
us.
about Jack Evans, and I was really not having any of that because Jack Evans is my dude. So when they were like, "Oh, this match," I think this is what we were talking about. Me and Duke are just looking at each other. Are these dudes serious? And especially, you got to put some respect on Iranian Tobacco Jack Evans from the Heavens name. All right.
And it's also funny because
But there was some scrubs. But if I was just trying to get on hard camera the whole time, that was all I was trying to do. I just kept turning and saying, February 7th, it's going down. Anytime I saw a camera with a red light, February 7th. Nyla Rose tried to hop the guardrail and try to get in my face. I was like,
No, she was trying to get to those guys
the
behind
guys
us.
behind us, yeah.
But
But
that-
she was trying to kiss me. Hey, it was the guys behind us.
Yeah, she was mad, like, because they were saying their weird STD heckles, and she jumped the rail. She
Yeah.
was really mad.
I don't know that they were saying anything like transphobic, which I guess I'd heard some people were. They were just doing like
They said everybody
same
had
thing.
AIDS.
everybody had AIDS.
That's what
everybody
Arthur
had
got all
Britt
fired.
has
Everybody had
AIDS.
VD.
Sorry to hear
People
it.
in front of him was all getting on that, and Arthur was like,
They were being super phobic.
yeah, and he was like getting real. You could see it in his face. He was in another section, like next to us. We were looking over, and you just see him like just shaking his head back and
These
forth.
guys weren't. Then they were just. I will say the one thing that they said wrong was because they clearly like just watched WWE. Like when she was trying to hop the rail, the guy kept saying like "You're the man," like instead trying to say that instead of Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
he's trying to and like no, and that just made
That's a
Nyla
pickle.
Rose even more upset. Yeah, but they were interesting characters.
Oh yeah, those guys are funny too because like they just seem like such miserable pricks, and they spent money to be down there. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, I spent no dollars.
Duke got mad because they were commentating that a dude took a German wrong. He was like, "What? Is that what it was?"
That was it, yeah. He landed on his tailbone. I was like, bro, come on. Like, you want to see a dude die in front of us? Like, what are you doing?
You already saw someone die last week.
No, yeah, I don't know that those
Well, I
guys
don't think
were there.
those guys were there, brother.
Yeah,
I'm just a ghost.
I didn't hear any STD chants. They
Happy to
probably
not
weren't
have
there.
them around.
But yeah, so I mean, it was a pretty positive experience though. And then
Could have done with some more cock cutter signs in the crowd. I'll say that.
I don't
Stop.
think so.
You say it 3 times, he shows up.
Yeah, if you say it too much, he shows up. But right when Dynamite was ending, Britt texted me and she's like, "Oh, I have your backstage pass," and I was real drunk, and I was like, "I don't know if I should go back there." And then like
You were out.
Duke was like, "Don't go back there with your beers," and I was like, "Fuck that, dude! I'm not wasting these. These are $9." So yeah, I got to go back.
Goldstein gets their money.
I got to go backstage, and that was pretty interesting because I did like one WWE house show thing where CM Punk shaved my head, so I've never been back there for like a big television production like that, and that was cool to see. And I was drunk, so that
After party Thorn was out.
yeah, I was
After
drunk.
party talk Thorn.
Yeah.
I was drunk, so like everything just seemed like that much cooler, and I wasn't nervous at all. I was just saying whatever, and like mingling with people, and yeah, it was hit the catering scene a little bit, and
Did you give Wardlow another pep talk?
no, I only saw Wardlow for seconds. Why would I give him a fucking pep talk?
You gave him the pep talk at the after party.
Doing all right.
After party Thorn was out.
Yeah, what though? After he did his tryout after party, he's doing way better now.
Doing all right.
Yeah, do the tryouts, guys. You end up watching MJF's back.
But yeah, I mean, I saw Max back there. I saw lots of people back there. Tyson Dukes was back there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Man,
which
we
was
haven't seen him
weird.
in forever.
Yeah, which was strange. I saw, all kinds of people. There's all sorts of people that have come through AIW that were back there.
It was fun to see all those people in like a bigger environment, like a TV environment like that. Max is walking around as he comes out there, and you see Britt doing the promo, and she's getting booed like she's supposed to be getting booed. It's just
Gave her a killer line, but
Ooh.
Sometimes people don't cite their sources. Make sure if you're writing, don't want to plagiarize anything. Make sure to cite your sources. Anybody that's doing an MLA format,
Degree to become a dentist, you would know how to cite sources.
exactly.
I guess not. Huh?
Exactly.
I guess not.
I don't know what the medical journals are like for dentists.
but
No MLA format.
But yeah, I mean, I was back there. I got to, and then I got to meet some people that I didn't know. Like I met like QT Marshall.
John Cena.
John Cena wasn't back there. Shut the fuck up.
Come on, man. Just throw it out there.
Randy Orton.
This is how you get yourself on a blacklist, bro.
Cena wasn't there.
But yeah, there was, there were some secret people back there that I will not reveal. But
yeah.
it was
Arthur MacArthur.
no. Dan just said he was in the crowd.
Chuck Stone.
Matt Justice, we know, is out there.
Private Theodore
Back there,
Stephen
but he
Dunlop.
was there to do some stuff.
Who'd you say? You guys caused me to do so much fucking editing.
Yeah.
Like this is why I'm so irritated today because I'm gonna have to edit so much of your
Yeah.
bullshit out. I'm gonna be up
But
all
while
fucking
you
night.
while you were back there, you missed our fun when we got to see Colin Delaney come out.
So like when I was walking back, like I walked kind of like I don't know, like around, but where he was warming up, and I was like, I was able to give him like a little fist bump real quick before
Yeah.
he went out, because he was getting in the zone because it was minutes before he was getting ready to go.
We moved to the front row at that point because the guys who were in front of us from 92.3 The Fan.
Yeah,
That's who they were.
Yeah.
Ken Carmen from the morning show. And his producer guys. So they left because they.
I was getting those vibes off of
Lima
him.
out
I'm
there
like,
too.
No, Lima was in Miami.
Kenny Kidd, the old mega ring announcer, he was there.
Yeah, Kenny Kidd has been to some AIW shows.
Yeah.
But so we move up at the front, and we were all pumped to see Colin, and we're cheering for him, and he, giving us the wave and everything.
That was
it's great.
I will say, I could hear the AIW chant backstage, and I
Yeah.
was like real fucking pumped. But like,
I was looking for you to do the same pose you did when they chanted AIW.
I was in the
NXT.
back, brother. I was
looking
rubbing shoulders with fucking important people back there. But yeah, I mean, just got to talk to some people and stuff, and then I thought the show overall was a pretty fun experience.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you on behalf of Nick Sanka. Did you talk to Luther, Dr. Luther?
Dr. Luther?
Dr. Luther, that's our boy.
I did not see Dr. Luther back there.
Oh man, we got to see him. It was for Dark, right?
He had his tongue out.
Yeah.
He had his tongue out.
I did not see Dr. Luther at all, actually. I didn't see, I saw the Young Bucks from a distance. I saw Cody from a distance. Like Omega. I didn't talk to any of them. They were, they walked by to go and do their closing show thing, but I didn't talk to them. They're pretty busy, so.
It was good. Yeah, the AIW chants were cool. Colin Delaney showed it was, for me, it was awesome because how we continuously talk about Colin and Cheech being so amazing, and on this night, Colin in particular, he did that yet again, and they gave him a lot more time in that match. You see him on 205 or WWE, and it's kind of like a glimpse, but it was a solid
Yeah, I mean, I think
match,
all
and
the other
yeah.
parties involved were definitely trying to give Colin his opportunity. You know what I mean? Like the three other guys in the match, I think they were all, being very selfless to let Colin have his time to shine. And everyone seemed pretty pumped about the experience. From there, I ditch all of you guys.
Yeah.
Because I get invited to the super secret AEW official after
Your
party.
ride home is allegedly still waiting for you at the Wolfspeed Center.
And I was told, like, hey, you could come here, and but don't say anything to anybody else. So I went, and there was nothing going on at all. Like, nothing. And so, like, Joey Janela was there, and there was nothing going on. And then me and Janela went to the casino.
Yeah, I was going to say, because me and Senko went over to the casino after. I said, let's just go in there. I won that Rumble money, so I said, let's throw a little bit of that down. Threw it on the roulette table. Of course, it's a green 0, which is my new lucky number, so whatever. But that's when we saw you guys at the casino bar. Yeah. We Ubered out of there, but I went home, but I saw you and Joey.
Yeah, you're in a weird mood.
Yeah, like meanwhile, I'm sitting there at the Wolstein Center with Dom, and we're like, we know that you guys didn't drive there. He's like, well, I brought him, and he's like, I might hang out at the after party for a little bit. I'm not sure. I might just go home now. I'm like, all right, well, I'll stay. But they're kicking us out, and then all I want is a text back from somebody to be like, all right, we'll meet up later. We're good.
I had someone text you.
All. You what?
I had someone text you because as soon as Young Bucks went into their whole merch lord speech, I was like, I am out of this arena. I am smoking a goddamn cigarette. I'm walking back to fucking Steve Guy's car. And I luckily bumped into Pod Van Dam and some people. And I'm like, who has Steve Guy's number?
Shout out to Jonah.
Yes, Jonah had it. And he texted and said, I'm taking Worldwide to the bar.
That was my other
Jobber the whole time was like, Jonah, let's go now. He's just yelling at him.
I was like I felt like such a dad on this night because Angie Punk got one of the tickets and she's with everybody. She's like, can you guys make sure I don't walk all the way back to Becky's to my car by myself? And Dom and I are like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And then I'm like, where is Worldwide? His phone is dead. My God, I've lost my child. I don't know where Thorne is. I don't know where Wes is at Snake. I'm like, just somebody text me back and let me know. And then finally I get the text from Jonah. Got Worldwide, headed to class. Perfect. One down. Where is everybody else?
So, like, Joey and I were like, let's walk back. We'll see if anything's going on. If this, alleged after party was going to happen or not. And if not, we're going to go to Now That's Class. And we go back, and Britt's there, and I talked to Britt. And then the guy who I had worked with on the event, like the local promotion stuff.
Yeah.
Called me over, and I was sitting at a table with him and Jim Ross and Britt, and then Tony Khan is right there, and we were talking about stuff, and then Chris Jericho comes down and sits at the table, and it turns into I'm the odd man out. I'm the only non AEW employee in this whole room. And it was if I wasn't drunk, I would have felt very uncomfortable, but I was drunk, so I was just talking to whoever, doing whatever. I got to talk to Tony Khan for quite a bit. He's a gigantic fan of Monsoon Classics YouTube channel.
Who isn't?
And so much so that he pulled out his phone and was like, look, this is the #1 channel that I watch. And it showed me that it's the first thing that pops up on his phone when he opens the YouTube app. And it was just small talk stuff, nothing else. But I got to meet Jeff Jones for the first time, Judge Jeff Jones from ECW.
What was he doing there?
He works for AEW.
What?
Who'd we talk about that we just said that? Oh, Sick Nick Mondo?
Oh, yeah.
That's what we
That
said.
was crazy.
So we're at the casino, and I go, dude, I'm like, Joey, where's Sick Nick Mondo, dude? Where's all these guys at?
And he popped out of the car.
Pulls up in a fucking
way.
Tahoe, gets out.
yeah.
I was like,
That was
shit.
That was the only guy I was really starstruck to see. Was
yeah.
Sick Nick Mondo.
Same here. It's just crazy.
I passed him in an alleged hallway, and I was just like, "Oh!"
Yeah, it's
Right?
strange.
I just,
I
dude,
didn't
I
know.
wanted to.
I was iced, dude.
I wanted to
was
bullshit
iced.
with him so bad.
Yeah, so he got out, and that was he didn't do any of the after party stuff or anything. But Judge Jeff Jones, he works for him, and him and I he used to work for Ring of Honor, and we'd never officially met each other, but we would have to if we were splitting a talent or something, we would have to work out travel and things like that. And So it's cool to talk to him for a little bit. We talked a little ECW. He was telling me some good Sid ECW stories and stuff, and I talked to Bryce Remsburg for quite a bit. So overall, it was a pretty good experience. Tony Khan paid for everything, ordered a bunch of food for everybody, drinks for everybody. I mean, he was the most personable, nicest guy you could ever imagine.
He just happens to have billions of dollars.
I couldn't imagine I would be that cool or personable if I was in his situation, but he was just talking just like us, talking to everybody.
I don't know. Don't sell yourself short here, John Thorne. You get the after party envelope from Pedro, and you get everybody shots immediately.
Well, there's a $200 limit on that. But
even add a couple zeros.
Even Jericho was super cool. I know that he has his people that are just super anti Jericho, but he was just cool. He was just hanging out, talking to everybody, telling us great WCW worldwide taping stories and
not you worldwide.
Yeah, just overall it was a pretty good experience. Especially for me to kind of show my face and mingle around with people.
Yeah.
Joey Janela desperately wanted to go to the unofficial AEW Now That's Class after party.
We were there.
He had been technically advertised for the night before.
And
we were hanging out there.
I think he only wanted to go if I was going to go. And I was just there's no way I'm leaving this situation right now, man. You work for these people. I don't. I'm fucking enjoying it. And I'm, trying to do whatever I can to get my face out there, make some new friends and stuff like that, because you never know where that could lead with the possibility of, they're letting more guys do some indie dates and stuff like that. So I was just trying to be a cool dude and just, hang, and I think overall it was a pretty good experience.
I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah, class was fun.
Yeah. Did you come down from your whatever at that point?
Went down, came back up. I think I left at about 1:30.
Yeah.
Stopped at my friend's, bought a turkey sandwich.
Yeah, you came by me yeah, I'm getting out of here. I'm it's early for you, isn't it? Yeah, I can't do it.
Very cold walk
all right.
I was in bed by midnight.
Oh, good for you.
I was not.
Getter.
I got home about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to Cheech, who drove me home. Because Cheech and Colin eventually found their way there. So me, Cheech, and Colin were the only non-AEW employees in this entire thing that was going on. And Cheech got me home safely that night. And I woke up the next day about 30 minutes past when I was supposed to be at work, and I went, oh, fuck.
And then I feel like you didn't wake up again until 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, then I was I was still drunk. I was still just out of it. And I had to take a sick day because I was not feeling good at all. My brain felt like it was fucking climbing out of my head the next day. So
Several claws over the line.
claws, fucking vodkas, beers. I was just mixing it up too much.
He was the wrong kind of mixologist that night.
Beer before liquor, never been sick.
Yeah, but it's other than that, I mean, I think it was a cool experience for everybody. Like I said, some of the AEW guys that got backstage and booked as extras and got to see how that thing unfolds, and they all got to talk, and what you guys can do to come back here, talk. And I do believe that AEW is going to come back to Cleveland from talking to the events guy.
That's what they were also saying at the end of the show.
Yeah, they were very happy with the attendance.
Yeah, it definitely looked pretty good.
They had they had about 7,000 paid, was the estimate that they had when I was talking to them at the end of the night. So they're very happy with that, which for Cleveland, WWE shows probably aren't even drawing 7,000 sometimes. So especially a house show. So they were all pretty happy with everything. So I think that they're going to come back. I know a lot of people were asking us, are they coming back? And from all accounts, it sounds like they will be back. So it's not going to be one of those things where they came, they tried it, and they're not going to return.
It was a good time, fun night overall. Shout out to all of you guys that went there and sported your AIW gear. That was pretty cool. Got a bunch of text messages of people watching it at home saying half the crowd was in AIW gear.
Guerrilla marketing, appreciate it.
And shout out also to Wes Barkley. That was the other half of the text messages I got. Where are you sitting? Oh, I see Wes Barkley. Turn it around, going to every time hard cam zooms by, he's just in its face.
That's what they call the Barkley effect.
Yelling at everybody he can. We'll talk, pal.
But yeah, we had a lot of people there. A lot of AIW fans obviously were there. Everyone's sporting those red hoodies. There was a sea of red hoodies throughout the building, which was pretty cool to see. And yeah, I think it was good. I've obviously been skeptical of AEW since it started based on the impact it's, potentially going to have on the indies. But, it seems like they are doing what they can to kind of help and work locally with independent companies when they can, which is, the best that they could probably do in the position that they're in to kind of
more than some folks do.
Yeah, and way more than like a WWE would do, to kind of work locally with the community and the local wrestling community, which is cool. And like I said, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to book some AEW people again and things like that. Like by all accounts, like I think all my interactions with people were good. I didn't hear too much bad stuff. Tony Khan followed me on Twitter, so that was a good sign of good faith.
Hey,
So it's things are looking good for at least us.
You follow him back, or you letting him sweat a bit?
I was already following him, dude. I followed him the day AEW was announced, bro. You gotta know what everyone's up to. You gotta keep your eye on the industry. So.
Well, I remember that pretty much wraps it up. I know some people are asking about what our experience was and what we did, so here it is. You got to hear it, and
overall, I think it was just they fully embraced AIW, and it was cool. They treated us. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet for us, which they did not have to fucking do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I gotta say, if you've never seen wrestling in an arena from the second row, check that shit out. It's good.
That's what I'm saying. They gave us some second row tickets. They gave us a bunch of other tickets to get, basically the entire school in if they weren't booked. They allowed us to get more people in, and they were very, very cool with doing all that stuff. Which, they didn't have to be. They could have been like, no, fuck you guys, buy tickets like everybody else is. But they didn't. They were awesome to us to kind of roll the red carpet out. So I can't say anything bad about them. At least, at this point, they did everything that they could to kind of embrace AIW and the kind of the local roots to the wrestling community.
Cool. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, like I said. And for Worldwide, for Wes Barkley, Josh Bishop, Dr. Dan, John Thorne, my name's Steve Guy, and we will talk to you next week right here on The Card is Going to Change.
All Elite Worldwide.
You might be backstage next, brother.
We'll see.